Hello and welcome to Versus Live. I'm Ross Merriam.
And I'm Corey Ballmeister.
And we've got Dan in the booth. Say hi, Dan.
Hi, everybody.
Dan will be taking all of your questions, comments, concerns, and burns in the chat. Make sure you tag at Star City Games so he can see them and send his favorites over to us. As always, we are brought to you by Star City Games and Carnox Gaming Chairs. Corey doing his best Vanna White impression. Or not, I'm thinking more like Barker's Beauty's impression.
Oh,
like
okay.
That's the thing they're bidding on.
I was thinking like Wheel of Fortune when they press the numbers.
That's Vanna White.
Is that? Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah.
But doing his best impression there to show off these chairs. If you would like one of them.
It doesn't take a lot of work to show them off. They're gorgeous.
Yeah, you're not bidding on them, but you will get 10% off by using our affiliate link, which is carnox.com/SCG.
Nailed it.
We are continuing our foray into Pioneer with Theros Beyond Death today.
Yep.
We got some spicy ones. What are we starting out with on your side?
So I'm going to start off with mono blue devotion tempo kind of style. We're playing a lot of cards like Merfolk Trickster, Brazen Borrower, the Harbinger that bounces a tapped creature. A lot of things to play a tempo game, as well as using both Thasas. The 3-mana Thassa God, I'm going to be terrible at these full names. Thassa, God of the Sea, and the 4-mana Thassa, which I will continue to call 4-mana Thassa.
That was like Sea Crowned?
Sea Crowned.
Sea something?
Regardless, we have... Regardless, we have a lot of blue mana symbols trying to activate a ton of mana through Nykthos to either funnel mana into these abilities of the Thassas or really capitalize on something that mono blue didn't have back in the day, and that's our Dadwick. Dadwick, the Wizard, just drawing a ton of cards after you've already played a good board and being able to tap it down. It honestly seems like an unreal Magic card in this deck.
Yeah,
so.
You know, this is a deck that's playing a ton of permanents, and we think of Mono Blue Devotion as a deck that, you know, back in Standard did not have a lot of interaction.
Yeah.
It's really like a one of Cyclonic Rift and some rapid hybridizations.
Yeah.
You were lucky if your Tidebinder mages were turned on.
Yeah.
This version of Mono Blue and Pioneer has a lot of interaction. Harbinger of the Tides that you mentioned, Merfolk Trickster, Brazen Borrower, and the Gadwick being this like huge play late in the game that lets you completely control the battlefield. So
yeah,
I think that's going to help it a lot, especially in the way the Pioneer metagame is currently, where there's a lot of creatures being played to the battlefield out of mono black and chonky red.
So chonky.
So having that, you know, that amount of interaction in addition to this Nykthos game plan that goes way over the top is a really nice combination.
I do agree, but I do think, like, you know, Glorybringer is not this deck's friend. You know, I mean, it's really hard to keep a haste threat. You always have to keep mana open. So that is still a really scary card from this deck. You know, I mean, we have the beautiful Master of Waves. That's probably pretty good against the mono red deck, but
historically, that's been the case.
Yeah, so. But still some struggles with that when you play like Tempest Djinn. Getting that Glorybringer, it always feels real nice.
That's not great.
Not great, yeah. What do you got?
No Glorybringers on my side, fortunately. I am playing a Simic ramp deck. This is sort of akin to the Simic decks we saw before Oko was banned. I am playing Euro as a card from Theros Beyond Death, trying it out because it's both, you know, a ramp card early and then late game. If my opponent has, you know, if we've traded some resources, you've killed some stuff, I've got a battlefield, it'll come back and become this big threat. So I like that duality to increase your consistency, reduce the chance of flooding. I'm really going pretty hard on the ramp plan as opposed to those decks that had Oko to play more interaction. Yeah. So I'm playing, you know, I've got the Walking Ballistas, I've got the Nisses, but I've also got a couple Ugins in the main deck.
I like that.
So I can really go big because you also have Growth Spiral, so it's a really heavy ramp deck. I'm a little worried about the land count, given the number of Growth Spirals and Euros early.
How many do you got?
24, 25, something in that range.
Yeah, 25, 26, 27, I feel is pretty standard for that kind of stuff.
Jade Light Ranger to help give me some lands, so there's going to be some interesting sequencing, and we'll see if I'm a little off on the numbers here.
Yeah. It's pretty wild to me that, like, Simic, I just look at, I base a lot of stuff on looking at, like, MTG Goldfish for the top decks, stuff like that, and it's... always pretty crazy to me to not see a green ramp deck up there right now, like we're kind of at. Like, you know, the top 5 decks don't really contain a ramp deck, and it's like, wow, they had to ban like 6 cards to make it not one of the best decks. But I still think it's very good and very powerful. And we'll see how this matchup goes. I got the marbles and some dramatic effect on Tuesday, so we'll have you going first.
Game.
Yeah, we had a good. We just had a good versus live last time. There was some good games.
If you missed that one on Tuesday, you can catch that show on the Star City Games YouTube channel tomorrow.
I'm glad you know when exactly they come up, because I would have said now. And I would have been a liar.
My hand looks great. I will keep
My hand is okay. Definitely not an all-star, but we're gonna keep it.
Hey, now you're an all-star.
Oh, thank you. It's about time someone told me that.
But now it's time to get the show on.
Raptor, your turn. 0-1.
So Corey, the Thassa, the 4-mana Thassa is Thassa Deep Dwelling.
4-mana Thassa, you say? Okay, perfect.
Yeah, sure,
I'll remember
let's go with
4-mana Thassa.
I'm gonna Growth Spiral main phase just in case I draw a card I want to cast.
Okay.
I did not, but I'll put in a land and attack for 1.
Okay, I will take it.
You're at 19.
Well, I already have to be afraid of Nissa. That's not a good feeling. But I don't know how much I can truly do about it. I could maybe try to bounce a Llanowar Elf here, but that doesn't feel very good. I think we're just in a bad spot if you have it. So I think maybe I just have to play like you don't. Feels bad because I can do something about it, but I'm not really progressing to any kind of end game. Yeah, I suppose let's try it. Let's petty theft that and pass to you. Not a great turn on my part, but Nissa here, it's just too early and I'm just toast if it comes down.
I will play a Jade Light Ranger.
Okay.
Let's just put this in the graveyard.
That's a nice one to put in the graveyard, I gotta say.
The Explorer does also help escape a bit.
It does, yeah.
I definitely don't want another elf. And then I will play Forest and Llanowar Elves.
All right, done?
Yep. So this is a 4/3.
Yep. All right, so we're going to go with a Raptor and a Weird. Get a couple counters. Give you the old beatdowns.
19 all.
Your turn. Is the one that shakes up the game in my future?
Indeed, she is.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
So,
Here comes the pain.
I don't like the pain. Okay, got some damage coming in.
question is, do I want to attack with the Jade Light? It's a free attack if I want to get aggressive, but I might want to get defensive. So yeah, I don't think I want to attack specifically because of Merfolk Trickster. If I only leave one blocker, you can tap it down, level these. Even if you miss a land drop, you can pump this, and that's 6 on Nissa. So I think I want to leave everything back, in which case attacking with this does nothing. So I'll just pass the turn.
Makes sense to me. And now the game is all about trying to kill a Nissa, which is usually not a good place for where you want to be, but we're going to go with the Raptor. We're going to play Mutavault and go Brazen Borrower.
Yeah, you do have a bunch of flyers.
Yeah.
So that certainly helps.
Yeah, we're going to try our best. So we're going to attack Nissa.
Goes to 2.
And pass to you. And we hope there's not one of those huge follow-ups here. Eugene would be something I would not prefer to play against.
Eugene would be a nice one. Especially because it doesn't make the lands green.
Yeah, the lands are colorless, aren't they?
Yeah. Okay, so I thought I had this turn scripted, but I drew a card that might make me rethink things.
Okay.
So I can generate... I have a breeding pool, so this is 4 forests, that's 8. 1 untaps, that's 10. This is 13. So...
whatever it is that you're counting that high, I feel like I'm dead.
That still doesn't protect Nissa, actually. From this attack, if you have another creature to play. But it's still pretty good because I kind of want to contain your battlefield. So, yeah, I'll shock to 17.
Okay.
I will make 10 mana.
Okay.
Untap a forest and make 12 mana.
Okay.
And I will play a 6/6 Walking Ballista.
That seems pretty good.
I thought so.
All right.
And the Brazen Bar is not getting into combat anyway, so let's just attack.
Okay, so if I block and lose this, excuse me, if I block and lose that, to 1 ping, you have 5 other pings. 1. So ping this, you'd have 4 more pings. 3. Okay, so that does prevent you from killing an extra flyer, I guess. So sure, we'll block.
And I'm pretty sure my
Weird's not
Nissa's
doing
dying
much.
regardless, so I'm just going to try to get max value.
Okay.
You took 4 too, so you're
Yep.
15 to 17.
You got it.
And I'll just shoot this now
Okay.
and pass the turn.
All right.
So Corey can attack my Nissa down, but then he's looking at a huge attack on the way back because I have 15 power here.
Only 15? Not
Yeah.
bad. Not bad. Okay, so if I attack, I think I just have attack at everything because you can ping one of these. Yep. I'll ping that.
Nissa down.
And pass to you.
Okay, I expect at least one Trickster here. Could also be Harbingers. That would be a 4-mana play. Okay, you declare attacks.
I will trickster this.
So that's going to make it lose all its abilities. So I can't ping. Do I want to shoot down the Trickster before you can block? Probably, because then you can double block a 3/3 with Trickster and Mutavault. So yeah, let's shoot that down.
That's
Turn
dead.
on the stack.
Okay, you may attack.
And I'm not going to... Yeah, I guess I will be casting this. So let's attack for 10.
11, right? Nope, 10.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
10.
I'll take it.
Brings me to
5.
5. And then 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. I will play a 5/5 Crisis and draw 2.
Things are fine.
Brings me to 19.
Okay.
And we'll play a Forest and a Llanowar Elves.
All right.
You can go.
I'm pretty sure I'm drawing and conceding. That didn't go well. No, a nice start on the draw, ramping into Nissa against a tempo deck. It's just you have to put so many resources to try to be able to get back at it.
Yeah.
Just a little bit too much for me, and my draw was not exactly super explosive.
Yeah, you you didn't have a good turn 2.
Yeah.
Your turn 2 of bounce my elf instead of tap it with Trickster and level.
Yeah.
Or bounce it. I don't think I should have attacked because of Harbinger, so I think I should just throw away the point. I was thinking about that during your turn.
Yeah.
That one, a bad second turn on your part to delay your own development and a strong ramp into Nissa onto the play from me, and you just get buried.
It's just too much. And that's just what Simic ramp decks have been doing for so long since Nissa was printed. Nissa and Hydroid Krasis, standard all-star duos just making their way into Pioneer. They're just so much value in standard that it makes sense that it's still a good thing to be doing in Pioneer, although the decks are a little better.
Yeah.
But
And one of the things I like about Euro in this deck is it gives you another easy way to turn 3 Nissa, but it's a card that stays really relevant later in the game. So you don't have to overload on these mana creatures that are bad to draw late. Instead, you get this cantrip, get a little bit of life gain, and you got a Lycan threat.
And I like that a lot more in the Pioneer version because we have elves. But people that are, I played a decent amount of the Streamer Showdown yesterday, and I tried a Simic ramp deck with Uro, and I thought it was bad because it wasn't a good way to get a turn 3 Nissa. Turn 3 Nissa is actually impossible. Or pretty close. I mean, you can go Goose on 1, into Uro on 2, into Goose again, but that's bad, right? There's no good 1-drops to ramp is my point. So I'm not as big of a fan with the Simic decks in Standard because of the lack of elves, but still going to be a player, of course.
Yeah.
All right, so let's take a question from our lovely director, Dan the Man.
Absolutely. Let's start with My Call 628. So, given the recent bans in Modern, where do you guys think Bogles sits in the Modern meta? Has it improved a little bit? Has it stayed roughly where it is?
I mean, I guess it has to improve a tad because the best deck just got a little bit worse. But as far as a reason why the metagame is going to shift in a certain way to make it better, I think the metagame is probably going to shift in a way that might make it a little worse. Like Amulet Titan, I think, is the first thing that comes to my mind as going to be a lot better and a lot more played. And I think Amulet Titan destroys that deck if I'm evaluating that correctly.
I would say that the Bogles deck has good draws against Amulet, but it's just much less consistent.
Yeah.
And that's a problem. But that's a problem for it across the board.
Yeah.
I would say the decline in engineered explosives because the Urza decks are going to get worse and less popular is big for both.
That's true. That's true.
The decline in ensnaring bridges because Karn the Great Creator gets a lot worse without Mike Lattice is good for Bogles.
I disagree on that. I think the new Urza decks might actually have bridge coming back now. Like that might be
they're going to be Urza.
because they're going to be Urza.
Yeah, so that actually might increase the number of bridges. So you've got a competing factors. The biggest issue for me, though, is I think regular Tron gets better.
Yeah.
And that's the nightmare matchup for Bogles. Oblivion Stone is lights out.
Oh, yeah.
So
that's true.
There are some issues. Bogles is just one of those decks that, like, it just sits on the fringe. So it's not really significantly changed. A couple things get better for it. A couple things get, worse for it. But Bogles, people are still going to be pantsing their 1/1s.
Yeah, exactly. People are still going to play it. They're still going to do decent with it, but the deck will still remain in the tier 2 at best shadow, probably bordering tier 3, tier 2. That's where I would imagine it being, but I also cannot say I've played more than like 3 games of Bogles.
So just very quickly, Icy John with the follow-up, because you touched on Karn, great creator, because since Mythosynth Lattice is banned, does that Karn still get played at all, or
I don't think so.
I lost some stock.
I think we go back to OG Tron, that won the Mythic Championship in Barcelona. Yeah, that won the Mythic Championship in Barcelona. I still think that deck is going to be very good moving forward. Just turn 3 Karn, the big Karn, the 7-mana Karn. I think that's just a better way to do it. Now, you can still have some tools in the board, but I don't think it's good enough personally without Lattice.
Yeah.
What do you think?
There's a second hit for Baby Karn as well. In the banning of Mox Opal means that static ability is a lot less relevant.
Yeah.
Part of the reason that card was so good is it's shutting off Mox Opals, Astrolabes, Mishra's Baubles, Engineered Explosives, the Thopter Sword combo, and that all of these things that were part of the Urza deck really forced them to have Urza to be functional.
Are you saying Urza is not going to be a deck anymore? Because you clearly do not jump into the BCW chat.
It's still going to be around, but it's not going to be, 25% of the field. It'll be, 10% of the field like a good modern decks are.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty big hit on the effectiveness of card in the metagame. It's still a good toolbox card, I think, for decks like Mono Green Devotion that need threats that are versatile, can go over the top in the late game by tutoring to things like Walking Ballista, and give you a little bit of interaction. I think it's good in those kinds of decks. But for Haymaker-like type decks, like just Big Tron, when you have access to Ugin, Karn Liberated, and Ulamog, I don't think it fits as well there.
And it really sucks a little bit to me that your sideboard has to be your sideboard is always bad when you play Karn. It's just, it happens. You need your toolbox, Yeah. So you get to play like your 6 cards that you really need for certain matchups, and then just randomness, like having a liquid metal coating and a worm coil engine in your sideboard just feels weird to me. So I think that's going to decline a lot, but people will still try to do it.
I don't think it's effectively banned.
Yeah,
it's
I agree.
Just a mediocre card.
Okay, well, I think this hand is decent. We're going to give this one a shot.
I will keep as well.
All right, land go.
Sanctum Llanowar Elves.
Okay. Let's go with a Harbinger for no value. Pass to you.
Perfect. My favorite kind.
No value.
First, I will escape this Euro.
Okay.
I'm at 23. And we'll play another forest and play.
Oh my. I'm terrified.
Yeah, that's a nice little curve.
That is a nice start. Mine is not quite as good. I'm going to play that and play a Thassa and pass to you.
I'm at 21.
Okay.
Thassa is very scary, though. I do not interact with it very well.
Okay.
Jesus.
Please no Nissa. Turn 3 Nissa, just absolutely destroying mono blue here.
Yeah. It wasn't going to be Nissa, but then I drew it.
Wow. Nice slow roll.
So I want to be wary of another 2-drop and then make Thassa into unblockable. So I'm going to leave this elf back. I guess I have a 3/3/2, but then in Merfolk Trickster I still have to be wary of. So I will untap this. Just untap this forest.
Okay.
And attack for 3.
All right, I'm at 17.
You can go.
All right. We're going to scry. That was actually pretty good. Okay, we're going to keep that. We're going to go with the Cloudfin Raptor. Nykthos.
4 mana.
4 mana, other Thassa. So now we have Devotion.
And then that enters as a creature.
It does,
it'll
yeah.
Evolve the Raptor.
Okay, cool. So now we can't do any unblockable shenanigans, but we can get in there with Thassa for 5 here. And then I'll go to end step, I'll blink this out, bounce, and then pump.
Yep.
All right, that's pretty sweet, and that's with the new Thassa. It's getting a lot of buzz, as we were talking about in our pre-show from the Streamer Showdown. It might be the real deal.
Yep. Definitely, that was an impressive turn.
That wasn't bad. I needed the Raptor, though. I just had this, and my turn was much less impressive.
It's not going to matter, but it was an impressive.
But you're not ooganing me, are you?
So this is 6. We'll untap this, make 8.
Oh, God.
Make 9 green. Ugin floating 1. I
vomit.
-4 the Ugin.
All right, we're dead.
And then I will recast with the mana floating and attack for 3.
That's dead, right? Or just
-4.
-4? Oh,
Yeah,
my
perfect.
God. Okay.
Oh.
I'm dead. My turn was so good, but you just had turn 3 Nissa, turn 4 Ugin? What do I do? Wow. Well, that was an absolute beating.
And in this curve, Euro was a very important part of it. Let me get both elves down while accelerating.
Yeah.
I effectively got to triple accelerate.
Yeah.
And I needed the other.
I don't think you needed that elf ever. Actually.
Well, I needed 2. I needed 2 blockers, right?
Oh, yeah, if I had things, but I ended up not having them anyways. Okay, well, that was a beatdown. That was an absolute slap to the face from Ross's Simic ramp deck against Mono Blue. We're going to head to the sideboard, see if I can at least sneak out a game. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a short break. All right, everybody, welcome to Sideboarding here at Versus Live. We got Mono Blue Devotion up against Simic Ramp. And cards I want to bring in are more of the story than the ones I want to bring out. I want to bring in Negates because Ugin and Nissa are just so backbreaking that if I can control your large amount of mana, your Crasises don't matter that much anymore. And then Ugin just absolutely wrecks me. So I have to have some answer for that, even though I don't love Negate, since that's probably my only target, realistically. And then I'm bringing in Tidebinder Mage. Seems really good against like elves, even Jade Light or whatever. It just seems like a better Harbinger, even though I have those as well.
I also think tapping down a Krasis could be super relevant because you're going to be getting in the air a lot.
True, exactly. And some cards I didn't like. Frostburn Weird, I think, is probably just one of the weaker cards in the deck on face value already. Brazen Borrower, bouncing your stuff is okay because a lot of it gains value when it comes back, or it's an actual land off Nissa, or it's a 1 mana thing, or it's like a Jade Light that gets value from exploring. So I think Brazen Borrower is pretty bad. The last card was one of the Master of Waves. We have a decent amount of 4-drops, and to be honest, I want to see more of Thassa rather than Master of Wave. I know what this card does, and yeah, sure, it's cool, but
Master of Wave is also just super vulnerable to Walking Ballista.
That's true. Yeah. Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. But are you gonna tell them what you're sideboarding there, buddy?
Oh, I'm bringing in a couple Lovestruck Beasts. It doesn't matter. I don't have much of my sideboard here. We think the Lovestruck Beasts are a little bit better than Scavenging Oozes.
Yeah.
So
basically, you're just flexing on me, being like, "I beat you so bad, I don't need a sideboard."
Yeah, I should just register.
Yeah.
60.
Everyone's had that. You play in a tournament and you're just like, I saw so little of my opponent's deck. Like, resubmit.
My favorite is when they try to concede early, but you just for whatever reason know what they're playing and just get the sideboard anyway.
Yeah.
Especially if they're like a lane in your deck and you just hit them with the hate card.
Yeah, it's just like turn 1 ley line. It's like, are you kidding me?
Over
to be like, dude, I have access to your Discord channel. I knew what you were playing.
Yeah. Years ago, a friend of mine was playing a vintage tournament, and his opponent has turn 1 Tinker for Blightsteel Colossus, which was the style of the time.
Yeah. What a good style.
Yeah, and just dies early. Looks like any blue deck. And then the next game he goes turn 2 or turn 1 because he says Mox Meddling Mage named Oath of Druids, and the guy's just like, how do you know? And it was just one of the people that always played Oath of Druids. It's you just played Oath of Druids in every tournament for the last year.
Yeah. It's not like when your tournament goes away, my memory blanks and resets.
Yeah. It's just incredulous that you would know that.
All right. Well, before we get this thing going, Dan, let's take one question from you.
Absolutely. So let's go with a fun one. So our one of our longtime subscribers, Papa John's Napkins.
All right. One greasy napkin, let me tell you.
Reaches out to Ross. So Ross, last week you were nerding out, if I remember correctly, with all the stories about Roman and Greek mythology.
Indeed.
Sounds
about right.
Dropping terms of that I didn't even know about, like 100-handed
Hecatoncheires.
yeah. So, his question,
I'm going to go take a 5, okay, boy?
So what is your favorite reference in this set, or what is your favorite story from Greek or Roman mythology?
Ooh, I got one too after you.
I don't know if I have a specific. Well, okay, no, my favorite one is the one. My favorite story from Greek mythology is the after the Olympian war against the Titans. So the Olympians win, and they have to sort of like divide up the universe, and there's 6 chief Olympians who were the 6 progeny of Cronus and Rhea, who ruled during the time of the Titans, and they are 6 that you're mostly familiar with: Zeus, Hades, Poseidon, and then 3 women were Demeter, Hera, and Hephaestus, goddess of the hearth and home. And so the 3 gods, they literally just rolled dice, and to see who would get first pick. And
sounds about right.
And Zeus wins, and he takes the sky, and Poseidon gets second, and he takes the sea. And Hades got third, and he just gets stuck with the underworld. And they actually all got like.
Hey, going second in Magic sucks too, so I get it. Yeah. Losing die roll is brutal.
They all got a gift, and we all know Zeus's thunderbolt and Poseidon's trident, but apparently Hades got an invisibility helmet, which I think is super sweet, but nobody is not a thing. But I would have to look through the set to figure out my favorite so far as that goes. But.
My for sure least favorite, my favorite flavor fail of the set is the Ironian Games at the end gives a gold medal, and then there's a card called Arena Gamer or Arena Player or whatever, and the flavor text says the Ironian Games give away no medals. It's like, come on, guys.
So if they did give away medals, that is a sweet flavor-wise card.
Yeah,
you're a champion, you train him, then you like win, then you get your medal.
Yeah, but no medals are given.
They didn't give out medals in the Greek Olympics either. They gave out the olive wreaths.
Oh, sure. All right, so let's do some gaming here. And there are medals that are given out here, the marbles.
Yeah.
I got a mulligan this hand. I think this is just too bad.
We'll be doing the same.
Yep. 5 lands on my end, not great.
With our powers combined, we can have a functional hand.
Yeah.
All right. Another question.
Sure.
So, Corey, I know you were part of the early access streamer event yesterday.
I was. Yep.
From Komodo Drake, what cards impressed you during the early access event?
Well, I would say the cards and decks that impressed me were pretty intertwined together. I really enjoyed Esper Hero. It's back. I really enjoyed Esper Hero, and the cards that impressed me there were Atrice, Ashiok. I played like 4 Ashiok. I played 3 Atrice, and then I played 2 Dream Trawler as the top end. And Dream Trawler was unbelievable in a deck that was interacting every turn. Like, it's bad when you're just going like, when all you have is like Wraths or whatever. But I was able to just go like Othakaya, gain some life. Thought Erasure, take your best card to slow you down. Hero into Tyrant Scorn or whatever. Ashiok bounce something, and then just Dream Trawler, and the game is over. Then the next turn I like went to Fairy Bounce. It gets pumped, draw a card, so I'm gaining like 6 life, drawing 2 cards a turn where it's indestructible, also gaining blockers with Hero. It was unbelievable in that shell, as well as Red Black Sacrificed featuring Woe Strider with like Claim the Firstborn. I think that deck is going to be very good as well, but by far the most impressive me was Atrice and Dreamcrawler and Ashiok in the Esper shell.
Nice.
Yeah, it was sweet. It was really sweet. The mind games with the trees are just as fun as advertised. My opponent offered me, they were playing like a beatdown deck, and they put 1 card face down and then 2 up. And the 2 up were Teferi, and I had an Oath of Kaya in play, and I'm like, I don't know what kind of mind game you're trying to play, but you did it wrong. So I picked up Teferi and just like bounced Oath, played Oath, bounced Oath again, played Oath, and killed him. But
yeah. Guys, I see the mind game they're trying to play, but if like Teferi is the card that you want, I'm like you have to. They have to be able to imagine something that the face down pile can be that is better.
Yeah,
when it isn't.
To be fair, the face down card was Ashiok, so that top 3 was just insane.
It could be anything.
Yeah,
it could be a boat.
Oh yeah, and I think people are going to be really quick to jump and be like, "I want that mystery file," Oh yeah. All right, great question. But the streamer event was fun. Those are my faves. And Euphemia. The 2/1 flower was pretty good too. I played the deck that you kind of played.
Yeah, Ari's Orzhov deck.
Yep. Ugh. This deck is hating on me.
Yeah, my hand's not great either, but I think it's a keep. Definitely getting rid of this one.
I don't know if I can. This is too risky on the play, I think. Maybe I have.
What could happen? Like turn 4 Ugin? That seems unlikely.
Seems super unlikely. This hand is pretty good if I can get a land. But if I don't, I do absolutely nothing. It's a little risky.
Four.
You know what? You got to gamble sometimes, right?
Risk it to get the biscuit.
Risk it to get said biscuit. Go.
I've got an elf.
Okay. Done?
Yep.
It's your go. That'd be your go. My hand's still decent if we can get it next turn, or, I mean, like maybe the turn after we're not dead, but... Okay, maybe we're dead.
You're up.
That's a go. Oh my
3/3
God.
ballista.
Wow.
You're up.
Wow.
No reason to kill him just yet.
Right on time. We got a mage.
Okay, we'll shoot these in response.
All right, we'll tap down one of those.
Yep.
Go. That was a little earlier. I think we would have been fine. I quit. I quit. I quit. I quit with this deck. I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm over the matchup. I'm over the sideboard. I'm over the life pad. I don't want these elemental horses. Stay tuned, everyone. We're going to take a 5-minute break, and we're going to bring you literally any other deck.